For the longest time, I kept telling myself I would figure out the AI stuff later. I was too busy running client work, managing the team, chasing new business, and every time I sat down to actually look at what Claude could do for an agency like mine, it felt overwhelming. Like, where do we even start? That was a mistake, because the workflow I'm going to show you in this video are now responsible for getting back hours I'll never get again, and building systems inside my agency that my competitors simply cannot copy no matter how hard they try. And here's the thing most agency owners completely miss. 88% of marketers say they use AI every day, but only 35% have actually built the kind of agentic workflows that execute work on their own. That gap, that 53% gap between talking about AI and actually running it, is where the biggest opportunity in the agency business right now is sitting wide open. The agencies that close that gap first are not just going to be more efficient, they are going to be in a completely different category than everyone else. Untouchable. And the ones that do not are going to be competing on price against people whose costs are a fraction of theirs. 6 use cases, real workflows, real numbers. Stuff I'm either doing myself or have seen done. Let's get into it. Before I get into it, quick context on why right now specifically matters. Anthropic just had their next model leaked to the world. It is called CLAUDE MYTHOS. Anthropic themselves called it a step change. The most capable model they have ever built. It is fully agentic now. It doesn't just answer questions. It goes into your tools, reads your data, makes decisions, and execute tasks completely on its own. And right now, before Mythos has even dropped publicly, Claude Code is already doing things inside agencies that I didn't think were possible 12 months ago. A 12-person agency managing 80 high-ticket clients, a 2-person shop producing 3 times the output of a full team, reports that used to take 2 full days per client, now running in minutes. Let's get into it. Use case number 1, reviving dead deals in your pipeline. I want to start here because this one hit me personally. Here's a number that should make every agency owner stop scrolling. The average agency has between 20 and 40% of year's potential revenue sitting completely dormant in dead pipeline right now. Deals that went cold. Prospects who said not right now. Clients who left 6 months ago and never heard from you again. That is not lost business. That is deferred business. And the only reason it stays dormant is because going back and re-engaging it manually is just too much work to actually finish. I tried to do it manually, had my sales admin pull all these deals, search through Gmail for the latest email thread with each person, build a spreadsheet, figure out who to contact, write individual emails. 3 full days of work for one pipeline sweep. And half the time I would just drop it because it was too much. Here's the thing most people miss. The problem is not effort. The problem is every re-engagement email has to feel personal to actually work. A generic checking in email gets ignored every single time. Here's what I do now. Connect Claude to your CRM and your Gmail. Claude pulls every dead deal, reads the last email thread with each person, figures out exactly why it fell through, and writes a completely custom email based on that specific conversation. It also reads sentiment. If someone told you never to contact them again, it removes them automatically. I spent 20 minutes tagging who to reach out to, handed it back to Claude. I wrote all 75 emails, personalized to each conversation, and scheduled them 4 per day so I do not flood my inbox. 3 days of work, 1 hour. That is money that was just sitting there doing nothing. Use case 2, automating client reports. If you have run an agency for any amount of time, you know reporting is one of the most painful things we do. And the frustrating part, it is not even hard work. It is just slow, repetitive, draining work. Pulling from Google Ads, Meta, GFO, SEMrush, combining everything manually, writing narrative around the numbers, formatting it, sending it, every month for every client. Here's the thing most people do not realize until they fix it. Every hour your team spends on reporting is an hour they are not spending on actually improving client results. You are paying people to format spreadsheets. You build the Claude workflow once, it connects to all of your data sources, pulls the numbers, writes the narrative explaining what happened and why, formats it the way each client wants and delivers it. 2 days for a client, down to minutes. A 12-person agency managing 80 clients using exactly this. That ratio was not possible before at all. Quick pause. Building this system is one half of the equation. The other half is making sure the right clients are coming in consistently while you build. I work with marketing agencies to build a system that gets you 5 to 7 qualified client intro calls every single month. Serious brands, real budgets, no chasing. Click the link in the description if you want to start adding that consistent revenue. Now let's keep going. Use case number 3, competitor intelligence on autopilot. I used to walk into pitches with a general sense of what competitors were doing. Skimmed some ads, checked some landing pages, never thorough because doing it properly for every pitch just takes too long. Here's what most people miss out this. When you walk into a pitch knowing more about a prospect's competitive landscape than they do, more than their current agency does, the dynamic of that conversation changes completely. You are not pitching anymore, you are consulting. Completely different conversation. You build a competitor intelligence agent once. It connects to the LinkedIn ad library. Completely free. 12 months of competitor ad data. Almost nobody using it properly. scrapes competitor pricing pages, tracks what ads are running and how long, which tells you what is actually converting because nobody keeps spending money on ads that do not work. One founder set this up so before every pitch, Claude automatically pulls a full competitor audit for that prospect's space. He walks into every meeting already knowing more about that brand's competitive landscape than their current agency does. That is not saving time. That is a completely different piece. Use case number 4. Building a content engine that actually runs. Honest truth, I knew for a long time I should be creating consistent content to build inbound. And for a long time, I never got it over the finish line. The same way I never got the pipeline re-engagement done manually. Because when you are already running client work, one more thing competing for time you do not have just doesn't get done. Here's what actually changed it. The content is not the problem. The repurposing is the bottleneck. Most of the time you spend on content is not filming or writing. It is turning that one idea into everything else. The clips, the LinkedIn post, the email, that is where the hours go. Claude eliminates that bottleneck entirely. One piece of content per week. You create the raw version. Claude turns it into short clips, 5 LinkedIn posts, an email, outreach conversation starters, all under an hour. 2-person agency went from 4 pieces per month to 12. Same 2 people, same hours, 3 times the output. Every week that content compounds. People in your niche start seeing your name everywhere. Start thinking of you as the go-to expert and reach out before you ever reach out to them. Use case number 5. Personalized outreach at scale. Here's what kills most agency outreach and I see it constantly. The message is about you, not them. Nobody responds to that because it is clearly a template. Here's what most people miss. Personalization is not about effort. It is about research. If you know what is actually happening in someone's business right now, what is probably not working, what changed recently, you can write a message in 90 seconds that feels like you spent an hour on it. Claude does the research. Every week, build a list of 30 to 50 brands that match your ideal client. Claude researches each one, looks at their ads, figures out what is probably not working, and writes a short, specific message that is like you actually paid attention. Something like, hey James, been watching your meta ads. You have been running the same 3 creatives since November. In your space right now that is quietly killing ROAS. Happy to share what is working for similar brands. No pitch, just a conversation. 90 seconds with the right Claude setup gets replies because it is specific and immediately useful. 30 to 50 of those per week plus the content engine running. That is exactly where consistent 6 and 7 warm intro calls a month comes from. Use case number 6. Building your own custom internal tools. This is the one most agencies are sleeping on, and the one I think about most when I think about where agencies will be in 3 years. Most agencies treat AI as a better version of the tools they already have. Better copywriting, faster reports, those wins are real. But the agencies that will be untouchable are the ones building tools that didn't exist before. Claude Code lets you build custom tools for your agency without a developer, not generic software. Tools built exactly for how you operate, your specific clients, your specific vertical, your specific way of getting results. A proposal builder that generates a full strategy deck in 20 minutes. An onboarding workflow that does in 1 hour what is to take a week. A reporting dashboard that pulls exactly what your clients care about in exactly the format they want. And here's the part I keep coming back to. Every tool you build gets trained on your specific data, your results, your standards. A competitor can buy the same AI tools tomorrow. They cannot buy your 2 years of campaign data from running ads specifically for law firms. They cannot replicate the way your systems have been trained on your actual outcomes. That is your moat, and every month you wait, the moat gets wider for the people who started earlier. Here's what all 6 of these have in common. None of these replaces what makes your agency good. Your relationships, your strategy, your judgment, that is yours. What Claude handles is all the execution work that was eating your time and slowing down your growth. The beauty of this for me is, it lets me stay in the sales process. The re-engagement workflow, the outreach, the content, all of that lets me keep the founder-level relationships and subject matter expertise without handing it off to someone who doesn't have the same context I do. Start with one, whichever one is hurting the most right now. Get one win, build from there. This is how you future-proof your agency. Here's the other side of everything I just walked you through. You can build every single one of these systems and still struggle if the right clients are not coming in consistently while you build. The systems create leverage, but leverage only works if you have the right input going in. This is exactly what I help agencies solve. I work specifically with marketing agencies to get 5 to 7 qualified, high-value client intro calls every single month. Not tire kickers, not small budgets. Serious brands who are already looking for what you offer and need to find you before they find someone else. 3 things. Positioning that makes you the obvious choice for one specific type of brand, an AI-powered outreach workflow that sends personalized messages at scale every single week, and a content engine that builds your reputation in your niche and drives consistent inbound month after month without chasing anyone. The agencies I work with stop chasing, they start choosing. Click the link in the description right now, get the details, and let's start getting consistent, predictable revenue to your business. And if you are not ready yet, hit like, hit subscribe. I bring content every single week for marketers building at a real level. All free. I'll see you in the next one.